So here we are on the Danube island at Sremski Karlovci, and Mirjana, our psychologist for the day, this is a new thing at our camp, has asked us to reflect on the moments in our professional development as teachers which had an impact on us. So I've come to listen to the river as we looked at Siddhartha, Hermann Hesse's Siddhartha, and passages in that book about coming to the river and the ferryman taking us across the river. I've come to listen to the river to try and make sense of, understand my own professional development. Yeah. So my own professional development as a teacher and as a teacher trainer. I guess 1979, Berchtesgaden, Bavaria, as a language assistant. And then it was after university, 1982, a language teacher at Rostock University. GDR. That was for 2 years. It's great watching all the birds here. And then Manchester, 1984, Manchester University. That was my PGCE in ELT, in English language teaching, and I actually did 5 weeks teaching practice in Manchester with Vietnamese girls, and then we went to Portugal. We went to Lisbon as a group. There were 25 of us, and we taught in a language school, not a language school, in like a comprehensive secondary school for 5 weeks. Yeah? So that was 1984, the time of the miners' strike, when I was going to Piccadilly railway station and collecting money for the miners, and the little jacket was covered in badges, coal knocked dole, support the miners. And then, actually that year in Berlin, after I did 1 year at the university, that was translating, but then the next year was 1986 and 1987, and that was a freelance teacher trainer, with no qualification in teacher training at all, only my knowledge of ELT activities really, which I presented at different events for teachers, but that helped a lot. Yeah? And then when I returned to England, 1987 to 89, that was working in a language school in Brighton. And that was when I remember the director of studies actually gave me time off in the afternoons to develop materials. And I remember teaching a course on English through pop music, which was great. And then we used to go and see the bands, and Brighton was such a good place for band. But we looked at the songs, grammar in songs, pronunciation, also the whole cultural background of where the groups came from. That was good. And then the whole 1989 Czechoslovakia British Council, British Council for 2 years when I was a lector there. That was fabulous, really. I'd actually already got a place at Lancaster University, but I deferred it because I got the job in Olomouc in Czechoslovakia, and I was there for 2 years, all through the revolution. But I wanted to go to Lancaster, and maybe that experience at Lancaster, that was 1991 to Lancaster University. That was the applied linguistics, Lancaster University. Yeah, there's MA in ELT. Then that was the kind of my introduction to really the strong form of communicative language teaching. Strong form of communicative language teaching. Communicative, sand off. Communicative language teaching, and then putting it into practice. Like going back to Pardubice and Olomouc in Czechoslovakia, and then the Czech Republic. That was very exciting period, really, in the pedagogical faculty in Pardubice. So that was then a teacher trainer, Pardubice and Olomouc. Yeah. And then I started taking teachers to England, visiting schools, and then got interested in fieldwork tasks and British cultural studies. And then the job in Budapest, 1996, British Studies, what was it called? British Cultural Studies Methodology Advisor. It's a bit of a mouthful, really. British Cultural Studies Methodology Advisor, and lots of conferences, cultural studies things, but that was great, and then the Zoom In project, writing the course book with Uwe, Paul and Hungarian teachers, experience in the secondary school when that came to an end, and maybe the next kind of big change really was with the soul work, or maybe, I was doing summer schools a lot of the time, and back in 2006 in Serbia, people asked me to direct the English book summer school, and I got very interested again in the methodology of summer schools for those 4 years, and then Grenville Yo asked me to start doing work for Soul, the methodology courses, Soul, those Serbian summer schools, and then the Soul, summer schools in Devon, summer schools, and then when I gave up the university and working for Soul much more from 2011, Soul work, and then the idea I remember sitting in Grenville's kitchen in, when was it, in 2013, and we talked about doing camps, and so we did one in Slovakia, and then the next year we decided to do both Slovakia and Serbia, and these were fascinating things to do, and that's brought me here. So basically that's my kind of trajectory as a teacher and teacher trainer, and lovely to reflect on it, here on the Danube. I now live on the Danube in Budapest. I've been living on the Danube for 20 years now, since 1996. I can see the Danube out of my flat in Budapest, and to actually do a teacher development course on the Danube is something very special. Maybe one year we could actually, well, there's a fish. Maybe one year we could actually hire a boat and travel down the Danube, and stop at different places. Yeah, that would be exciting, wouldn't it? With a group of about, 25, 30 people, something like that. Yeah, come out bird. Yeah, here's something coming up the river now. I don't know. Lots of fishing goes on the river. Lots of boats come down from Germany and all the way down to the Black Sea, and there's somebody, I guess they're probably fishing. Got a good hat a day like this. Anyway, lovely.